Hello guys, welcome back to a new deck showcase. We are starting with the FB10 leaders and this is my personal favorite, Boujack. I'm also remind you that I'm playing all the decks without the promos because they're not available in person yet. And we're preparing for regionals without those promos, so I'm not playing with any of those. I'm not playing with Zangia, that's why I'm playing with 4 Psychic Demon instead of that. But if you want to play with the updated version, just keep in mind that you can sub out this guy for the 1-cost Zangia. I'm playing a grand total of 8 cantrips, 4 Psychic Demon for Boujack, 1-cost Slug that is there just to freeze the opponent's stuff in case you don't find your 0-cost spell. 0-cost spell is still the priority, but the 1-cost Slug sometimes comes in handy and it's at 10k, so it is what it is. I kinda like having a couple more options just in case I wanna freeze like maybe 2 bodies on board and have only 1 key at my disposal. I can play this and that. Vegito, it is the usual top 1 card. Pretty strong in the early game, pretty strong going all in. It is fine, it's a 10k. And then I was testing out with this Boo as a one-off for the all-in. I'm not confident it's a good card, but I mean, you can try it if you want it. It's just a 30k that can be played off your 5-cost Boujack. And your 2-job compartment consists of Gogeta and Zangia and 2-cost Slug. The best one is of course Zangia. This is the best card of the deck. It helps you keeping a relatively healthy end size, because on KO it's just 2 cards, so it is insanely strong. In every single game you want to see 4 of this. If you see 3, it is fine. 4 would be optimal. If you see like 2 or 1, that's a pretty bad game, and most likely you're gonna lose those. So that's quite inconvenient. And Gogeta, it is the best T1 play if you wanna coin out something, or T2 play. So on the early game it is better than Zangia, of course, because you don't have 2 keys already on your leader, and this just generates on swing, so if somehow this remains on board, you can generate 1 additional key on the following one. So it's actually pretty strong. And in 1 KO effect, it is sometimes relevant if you wanna KO it with your spell before swing with your leader, so you can go for double 30k swing. 2-cost Slug is also very pivotal because it combos very well with the 3-cost Slug. Keep in mind that you need 2 keys in order to use the combo, so if you only have 1 key, 0 key when you play this, you cannot play the 3-drop, so you can't do it on curve. You cannot play this on T2 followed by 3-cost Slug. That is not doable. But this is very nice because you can swing for 15, or you combo a 5k, you can also swing for 20. A usual combo you do on T3 or T4, it is Slug plus Psychic Demon, you can swing with it, combo the other one, swing for 20, pop, play Slug, swing for 25, 20 with leader effect on Slug, and something like that works. Or the other play that you can do on 3, it is the 3-cost Gogeta that cannot play 2-cost Slug, unfortunately, but it can play anything else as long as it is a Boujack triggered. So you can play this followed by either Zangia or Gogeta. And it's gonna generate 2 keys, so it's gonna be enough. I think it is okay. T2, generate key with Gogeta or double cantrip. T3, you play this 3-cost Gogeta into 2-cost Zangia. And then T4, you go for double 2-job, usually Zangia and Slug chain. And this Slug chain is very needed to generate extra key, because it helps you retain a healthy amount of key, because this guy generates key every time it gets on play. Even on the KO effect, when it gets back into play, it's gonna generate 1 more key. So you're gonna aim for 1 key under your leader when you're heading to your 5 energy turn, so you can go for the double 5-cost play, that is this Boujack followed by that Boujack. And you cannot do that if you're on 0 key, because this requires you to have 2 key and it generates 1. Or if you have 1 key left over thanks to this Slug chain, then you're able to go 5 into 5 and swing a bunch of times. The 0-cost spell is also very pivotal because it helps you KO 2 bodies every single turn, just in case you need to activate 2 of your effects. Usually it is gonna be Zangia and 3-cost Slug. So very nice. I don't like anything else. I think that you might want to increase the number of cantrips if you want it. If you want to play like 10, it is completely fine. I think 3 of the 5-cost is enough because you only want to play it on 5+. So on the early game is a dead card. You can also charge it if you find it super early. And the Slug is needed as a 4-off. I tried with a 3-off, but sometimes I don't get it, and this Slug chain is very much needed. That being said, let's get to the gameplay. And first game, it is into BR. Leave a like, subscribe. I think this is not a bad matchup. It's pretty fine. You want to play, of course, your 1-job on T1, followed by 2-job on T2 and such. And one thing you can do is to actively defend your life amount, comboing cantrips early game. That's why I like to play a lot of cantrips, because if you can stay at higher life, you're pretty good into a lot of opponents. Unfortunately, you can only do that if you have a good end already. So if you're missing Zangia, for example, I would advise to take some extra swings to find your key pieces. But now that I have everything that I need, I can play my 2-drop on T2, swing, get 1 key, and let the opponent awaken, but I don't really care about that. I can take care of like 1 body every single turn thanks to the 0-cost spell, so I'm completely fine with that. I'm gonna take the 20k swing. Sometimes you can also decide to combo from your hand if you're playing into dangerous leaders like Vegito or Bomku or whatever, where if you get down too fast, you're gonna be in trouble for later on when they're gonna swing for higher numbers. But into leaders that swings a lot of times, it is fine to take some early swings. Now he's gonna KO my Goku, of course, with the leader effect. He's gonna swing 25, I'm going down to 5 life already. That's not pretty nice, but it doesn't really matter. I'm gonna play my usual combo of 3 costs into 2-drop, and then I'm gonna swing a bunch of times. He has to give me a lot of cards from his end. Got a very fast awaken, so it's completely fine to swing like 4 times this turn. It is the usual 20, 20, 20, leader effect, draw a bunch of cards, and then 20 again. And then you can also consider playing the 0-cost spell after everything is done if you wanna freeze the 25k. Let's see what we get. We get another Zangia, so that's actually pretty interesting because we already have 3 Zangias. This is gonna be a great game. I can already tell it. I'm going for that play. I'm just gonna cycle because the problem is that deck can easily take care of my 20k body on board without swinging at it. If he couldn't, I think I would have kept on board and let him swing into it, but since he can easily use the leader effect paired with a bunch of minors, it is fine to just cycle. Sometimes we use this spell just to cycle, and we want to find the slug chain for T4. As I told you, this is a pretty weak turn for my opponent. I think that the 2-cost arena is not the best that he could do, but maybe he's like a little bit bricked after doing double SR into 5-cost Vegeta, and this is the classic 4 energy turn. You play Zangia, you swing for 20, you play 2-cost Slug, you combo 5k, swing for 20 again, and you pop, play 3-cost Slug, swing for 25, and then leader effect, maybe the 0-cost spell if you have it, and then you pop both. I'm gonna pop my Zangia, I'm gonna swing for 20 more, now I have 10 cards in my hand, 5 live, so we're in a very dominant position here. I'm playing the 0-cost spell to cycle and to sneak in a 25k swing again, because the 0-cost spell is gonna draw me 1 card, and then I'm gonna discard 1 card from my slug, so you're actively cycling 1, but you also get the key back that you use, so you're not using any key to do that, and you're getting a 25k swing. So even if the opponent doesn't have any piece on board, I think it is pretty fine to do the combo anyways. Now he plays a bunch of cards, 20, 20, he's gonna swing at my board, I'm gonna block, because I don't wanna get him pop twice, but it doesn't really matter. He's just gonna swing at it. He's gonna get back. I'm gonna get 1 additional key, and now the only way that he has to remove it is by playing the 5-cost Gogeta promo. But if he does that, he's going -1 in hand again. So I think I'm pretty fine with that. Now he has 5 cards in hand. I have 7 cards in hand. I'm adding to my 5 into 5 turn. I have another Zangia, so we're in a pretty dominant position here. There's not much the opponent can do. I mean, he can block this wing for free, sure. Then I'm gonna go with 5 into 5, swing 30, 35, 20, draw like 3 cards again. I'm gonna swing into board. That's not needed if you have a 0-cost spell, but since I don't have it, I'm just swinging into board just in case. So I can keep the board clear. Now I'm gonna swing 20 phase. And he takes, actually. I guess he wanna go all in. I mean, I don't know why, but it's not gonna be easy to all in me. I have 4 life, I have a bunch of cards in hand. He's gonna take the 20k swing again, so I'm just gonna play cantrips because I don't wanna go all in here. I could like play a 20k and dump my whole end, but that's not a very nice play, so I'm just gonna wait for my opponent to all in me instead, and I'm prepared with a bunch of different cards. Technically, I could have also played the 0-cost spell to cycle my 5, but I'm gonna keep him board just in case. I think I'm relatively safe enough with super combo, a bunch of 10ks and a 5k. So now that he cannot play the SCR anymore, I'm not in danger of dying. I'm just gonna take a bunch of swing. He's swinging board. And then the problem is that he's pretty much dead. He has 1 life. I'm heading to 6 energy turn. I can tap that with Bido. I can play 5 into 5 with Heavy. So this is just game over, guys. I'm gonna play Goku. I'm not gonna try to find my another 5. So I can use this spell, buff my leader to 30k, and then swing 30k into 30k. This is pretty damn nice. So I'm gonna freeze that. It doesn't actually matter. I just popped it to buff my leader for 30k. So I'm doing 40, ask for 2 cards from hand. Then I'm gonna play another one. Cantrip to try to find a 2-drop. I don't have it. I find a 3-cost lag, so that is actually the best top deck ever, I think. Because I can go for 20, ask for 1 card from your opponent's hand, and then I'm gonna evolve into the 3-cost lag, and then swing 25, and then I can use my leader effect on this lag, pop it, have another 25k, but it doesn't matter because he cannot block a 90k swing, so I'm not gonna bother extending the match more than it is already. That's why I didn't go for that play, but that would be the optimal line if I didn't have exact lethal already on board. And the second match is gonna be into the best deck of the format, that is SS3. I actually think that my leader is unfavored in this matchup, but the opponent needs to know what to do into Boujack if you wanna win. Leave a like, subscribe. So I'm gonna show you how the matchup develops. I'm gonna get in with this kit. I'm looking for the 2-drop Goku because I don't have any play right now. Unfortunately, I don't find it, but I get a Psyche Demon, so that is completely fine. I'm just gonna swing 15 and then play my Psyche Demon. I'm not gonna find another Kenshi. I would have played it if I had it, but I can't. So whatever, I'm just gonna play a bunch of, and then I'm gonna get in with a 15k swing at lead. He's gonna play Gohan, and let's see, he's gonna pass turn and stay at 5 life. Now I'm gonna swing. And then, unfortunately, I don't have my 3-cost Goku, so I can't really awaken. I would have loved to play 3-cost Goku into 2-cost Zangia and then swing 20-20 leader effect on the Zangia and then 20 again to ask for some cards from my opponent's hand. But unfortunately, I don't have it, so I'm just gonna chill with a bunch more cantrips. Now he swings for 20k, and then he goes for another 20k. I take because now I can awaken for life. I don't need to wait to awaken with key, since my leader has an alternative flip condition, and that is being at 4 life. So now I can become a 20k body and block his 20k swings with just my cantrips, or block 30k swings with a 5k and a 10k from my hand. So I think here is where the opponents fuck up, because the one thing that this deck suffers is a whiteboard with a bunch of cantrips on, but like total swings are not really that threatening as having a whiteboard, because now I can get the advantage by swinging a bunch of times and then taking care of his body thanks to my free spell. So the problematic stuff is when they go very wide with like Gohan, Goku and such, and then they play Psyche Demon, Psyche Demon, Psyche Demon, and maybe keep a chaining in open, and that is very, very scary for my leader, because every single one of their 5k can block one of my swings, so my leader just swings for 20, 20, 20, so they can block for free every single one of my swings with their cantrips. But it seems like the opponent is doing an alternative gameplay where he's trying to push for game very fast, but that's not the way you should approach this matchup if you're on the SS3 side. But let's see how it develops. I'm gonna play Loyal Shield, so of course I'm gonna freeze that. I'm gonna get back my slugs, doing 25k again, 20k, so like this is pretty interesting. We have like equal amount of cards in hand, but it let also the Gohan die for some reason. I don't know why, but it should protect his board every single time. Because the one advantage that SS3 has over Boujack is that he can actively protect his board while I can't. Because as you can see, this spell is extremely broken. It can circumvent, what is that? It can circumvent my 3-cost lag on KO effect, so he can retain his board while I can't. He's gonna play another 5. I don't know why he's going for a bunch of 5, but I'm not gonna argue, I'll take it, so whatever. He's gonna play 5 into 5s with 30-30. Yeah, and actually the more menacing part of his deck are those Psyche Demons. Those are the real demons, because now he can block a bunch of swings for free. See, he can block a couple of swings for free now. I'm gonna play the 5. Unfortunately, I don't have the other 5, so I cannot go 5 into 5. I'm just gonna hardcast my 35k, swing with Zangia. He can easily block. I'm gonna use my Loyal Shield first to see if I can draw something. I'm gonna freeze that. Boom, boom, boom. If I get like his lag chain, I'm gonna play that, but I don't have it. So that's why I'm gonna swing with that and play Zangia, swing for 20 again, he blocks, and then I use my leader effect. The good thing about having Slug is that I can swing multiple times, and I can also retain one key on my leader. Now I don't have one key, but I have a pretty decent end size, you know. I have 14 cards in hand, a bunch of supers, so it is very hard for my opponent to hold me here. And it seems like he's not even pushing, he's not even trying. He should go for like 40, 40, 40, 40, whatever, and then try to double strike me. But for some reason, he's playing very passive, even if he has like one life. So I don't know what is going on. If he passed turn, I'm pretty sure he's giga dead. And now he's going for the whiteboard game plan. But the problem is that he is already T6, so now I have a decent advantage over my opponent. We have almost the same amount of cards in hand, but I have a bunch more swings, so I'm gonna play Psycho Demon into Slug, swing for 20, and then I'm gonna ask for more cards playing the Slug Chain. If I can find the 4 Zangia, I don't even remember if I played the 4 Zangia actually, but that is also decent, because I can swing for 20, KO it, and then swing for 30 with my lead. At last, play Slug. If I can find the 0-cost spell, that's even better, because I can revive my Slug and then swing once more. Boom, 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 boom. The thing is not, I'm not swinging for higher numbers, because I don't want the opponent to get value from the result of chaining. So if I swung, for example, 30k or whatever, for example here, do you see he blocked 20k with a 10k? If I made him use his result of chaining earlier on, he might have drawn into that 5k to get a better block on my 20k swing. That's why you want to keep your numbers very low, and then you're gonna push on the last final swing to not give them the freedom of using a result of chaining very early and find the combo power that he needs to block my stuff. This is a pretty like lucky game, I would say. Usually you lose to SS3, but sometimes you can win, as you can see, especially if the opponent doesn't know what to do. And this is the third game that I want to show you into Vegito. That is the third most played leader, or second most played leader if you don't count VR. I think it is the third most at the moment. Leave a like, subscribe, and I think it is a very decent matchup for Boujack, especially if you start with a cantrip where you can block the early swings, you can stay at high life, because the only way you lose into Vegito is if you go to very low life amount, like 3 or 2, and then you get in with a billion face and lose to deck out. But if you can keep high life, awaken on 7 or 8, or even 6 should be fine, then the matchup it is actually pretty decent, even if they can make your life harder by becoming a 25k lead thanks to the 5-cost Vegito. But we're gonna see how to play into that. It's not as bad as you think. Even though our deck wins with a tons of 20, we can actually play around that. So now he plays the Shin into the 1-cost Vegeta. He's gonna keep that on board. It doesn't actually matter. I'm just gonna weaken because he couldn't play the double Goku line. So that's actually pretty interesting. If they play that line, they're going -2 in hand, so it's not even that bad if they play 1-cost Goku into 4-cost Goku. And now we're just gonna play the usual Slug Chain on T3. Like, ideally you would play Zangia here. I don't like this Slug Chain because I want to keep Slug when they become a 25k lead. I don't want to waste Slug when they're a 20k lead. So for example here Zangia is so much better, but you don't have everything in hand, so whatever. Like, I went for the Slug Chain. I'm gonna find Zangia maybe later on, so it is what it is. I'm just gonna swing 20k more into 25k more and call it a day. So sometimes, yeah, you don't have the optimal line. I just top deck the Zangia. If I added at the start of my turn, it would have been so much better to play 3-cost and 2-cost, but whatever. Let's just keep the Slug, swing 20, 25, ask for a couple of cards from my opponents, and now we have 7 life. The one good thing about this matchup is that the opponent only swings once or twice at my life every single turn. So in that case, we can like easily keep our life amount very high if we can play this strategically. So for example, this 35k swing is gonna be blocked by a super combo, and you might find it very odd to block the 7th life, but that's the way you completely dominate the matchup. It's a little bit risky because you don't find too many cards, but I already have a Zangia for my next turn, and actually here on a 25k leader, the best way would be to play double cantrip, swing 25 on my leader, 25 on my Zangia, and then draw a bunch of cards and combo my leader swing. Unfortunately, I don't have double cantrip, so I'm just gonna art cast my 3-cost slug and then KO it to freeze that and get another 25k swing on a 25k leader. So as you can see, it's just a matter of swinging for 25k as much as you can, and the opponent's hand is gonna deplete very fast. And the cool thing about it is that they're gonna have a hard time keeping up in end size because they need to choose either to play the 5-cost Vegito or the Secret Rare. And if they play the 5-cost Vegito, they're going minus in hand, especially if they don't have the 4-cost Vegeta under that, if they have Goku. So we can abuse that and ask for 1 card on our every single swing, and at some point he's gonna defeat his old hand and he's gonna die. So as you can see, he couldn't remove my 3-cost slug. I can swing 25, and then I'm gonna swing 30, ask for another 10k, pop it, Lady 5, Lady Zangia, boom, boom. Unfortunately, I'm gonna combo my Boo. I would have loved to try and play it, but I wanna swing with my Zangia and I wanna immediately kill it to try and find some cards to combo on my leader and hopefully find something to play off my 5, but I can't find it, so whatever. I'm not gonna play anything with my 5. I'm just gonna swing and call it a day. Boom, boom. Slug is back. Swing. He blocks with a super combo, so that's a pretty good indicator that they don't have enough combo power to block out of my swings. I'm gonna swing 35 at board. I don't wanna get them down to 1 life and then all in me. I just wanna get as many cards as I can from my opponent's hand. And now that they have 2 cards in hand, it's gonna be pretty rough for them to kill me. I have 5 life. They can really get me down to 2 life and deck me out. So this is pretty fine. He's swinging at my board. I'm gonna block. And then he's gonna play 1-cost Goku effect into another 5, I guess. And then he's gonna swing and my stuff. But one thing we can do is we can activate the slug effect to protect our Boujack. We're gonna see the interaction pretty soon. So here he's swinging to my board, and then I'm gonna activate the effect. Use 1 key, KO the slug. He effect, but what happened is I would KO the slug, and then slug effect procs. I'm gonna discard my Boujack. Slugs come back. I get back my key. So actually, Slug protects my 5-cost Boujack, so next turn I have a 25 into 35 into their swing, and then I'm gonna win because he has a bunch of tricks in hand. Okay, and this was it, guys. Let me know what you think about the decks in the comment below. And if you like the video, remember to leave a like, subscribe, and follow me on twitch.tv/AstomKR. Try this deck, it is very fun. Sub this Psycho Demon for Zangia if you want it, and just have fun. See you next time.